Welcome to Season 2 of the Mapleside Chats, your glimpse into the CEIBS MBA. This podcast presents you with the inside scoop on what really happens behind the scenes of China's top business school. Located in Shanghai on Hongfeng Road or Red Maple Road, the China-Europe International Business School aims to develop tomorrow's business leaders with a China-depth, global breadth mindset. Sounds intriguing? Let's get started.
Hi guys, this is Student Ambassador Podcast Team, and here we are at episode number 2. In this episode, we'll be discussing a lot of the details on club activities. Apart from the interesting and fun academics, we also have the club activities on the sites, as we will be introducing to you guys later on. And here we have Sabrina and Mona from Women Leadership Club, and Zhiyin from Consulting, and then Chaney from Sports, Media, and Entertainment Club to give us a little walkthrough of how club activities are in CEIBS. Before we go into questions, I want to ask each and every one of you to give us a brief introduction about yourself and your club. So why don't we start with Zhiyin?
Hello, I'm Jiang. I'm the president of the CEIBS MBA Management Consulting Club. About myself, I studied electromechanical engineering, and after my graduation, I started my career at KPMG Spain, working as the strategy consultant. I spent 4 years of my time there, and I realized that I should improve my knowledge, so that's why I'm here at CEIBS. As I have the consulting background and I'm still interested in consulting, so I'm running the consulting club here. And my purpose or our purpose is to help the student to understand what's a consulting club and what are the daily activities we do at consulting and what can they improve to be a good consultant.
Let's move on to Sabrina.
Hello everyone, this is Sabrina. Very nice to be here. And actually I have my education background focusing on the engineering physics. And after graduation, I directly transited to medical device industry and joined Johnson & Johnson MedTech. I work as sales and then transferred to central marketing team. So basically 7 years of working experiences in medical device sales and marketing role. And during my working period, actually in my previous company, we also have some activities related to the women leadership. And I think it's a meaningful activities, and I enjoy that. And I think that we can make some impact, a positive impact to women or girls in the workplace, and also have some positive impact in their lives. So after I joined CEIBS, I think it's also meaningful to do something in this women leadership club. So Mona and Angel, we three want to organize this women leadership club.
And next we have Mona, also from Women Leadership Club.
Hi everyone, this is Mona, and I'm actually a serious entrepreneur, and I started a company in fashion and also in camp education. I'm very interested in camp education and the fashion industry. Actually, I'm still running my fashion brand now. I think the purpose of our club in CEIBS is that we want to create a community that is very loving and very supportive for each other, because we think that women can be very resilient in ups and downs. Our motto for this club is that actually we want let her voice heard. We want more voices from women, from girls to be heard in this society, and we want to support each other in each other's way. And we want to have a lot of interesting and fun activities so that we can be more impactful in this society.
Thank you. And Chaney?
Hello everyone, this is Chaney, and I had my college education in media studies, so I interned at several advertising companies like Ogilvy, and after graduation I did 3 years in consulting, basically focused on like market research and consumer insight. And after that, I did 1 year freelancing to exposing myself to the wider world of consulting. And after that, I decided to do a career switch. So that's why I'm here at CEIBS. So our club, Sports, Media, and Entertainment Club, it was kind of last minute decision to form this club with 2 other members, Owen and Nikki. I think after we made the decision, we want to have some really fun activities for our batch to really free everyone from the busy schedules. And we also want to share some insights on the industry if there are people from our batch are interested in switching to this career, because there are actually not many people in this background from our batch.
Thank you. And let me just say, considering the members we have in this episode, it really demonstrates the women leadership in CEIBS. So first things first, I want to ask, what do you think is the purpose of a club in CEIBS? And who do you think those are for? And what are the differences between a member and a non-member? Why don't we start with Zhiyin?
It seems that our club, our consulting club, is oriented for people who want to join who want to be a consultant. However, from my point of view, I think everybody should participate, because in the end, consulting or consultancy is not only a kind of job, but a kind of way of thinking, how to solve a problem and how to structure your thoughts. So we are open to everybody. Obviously, there are some kind of limitations, like in some activities we have limited seats, so the members have preference, but in general, we are open to everybody.
That's great. What kind of activities have you had or are you planning for Consulting Club?
We had, first of all, some introduction of the consulting industry, or the activities we do in our daily job. That's the first part, and also we have the hard part, which is the PPT introduction and how to do a PPT efficiently. And later on, we plan to do some Excel, the same session but for Excel, how to use Excel in an efficient way, and what are the main shortcuts you should understand and you should use. And for Consulting Club, we have our famous case interview. And we planned, we planned in the past, we did 3 sessions of individual case interviews, so 1 to 4 or 1 to 3. We think that's quite hard for people to start with case interviews if they are not familiar to that, and if they don't have any interview, they wouldn't start. So nextly, we are going to run our signature event, which is a speed casing. It's like speed dating, but for cases. You are going to do a case in 5 minutes and just move on to the next one. And so in 1 hour, you can do 8 or 9 different cases and to have the courage to start a case. I know that in all the clubs, you may have some company visits, but for consulting industry, it's not fancy, so we don't organize that kind of activity. But definitely, we will also try to invite some experienced consultant to have some speech about some kind of topics which we are interested in.
Sounds like Consulting Club is really helping those who wish to make a career switch to consulting and help them from step 1. And want to move on to Sabrina and Mona.
So basically, I want to maybe answer the part that the purpose of the club in CEIBS, and maybe later I can pass on Mona to add more. To my understanding, is actually I think the club, not only our women leadership club, but also other clubs related to the industry, we all try to build a community and a place that to help CEIBS students to support each other and help each other in the MBA journey. But I think the Women Leadership Club actually quite different, because we do not focus any specific industry. We are more focusing on how to improve our members themselves, how to help them to build a better self and improve their leadership during the journey. And I think that the clubs in CEIBS has also a lot of benefits. The first would be that actually because our students, our members are all MBA students, prior to MBA journey, they all have some working experiences already. So they can share a lot of personal story, personal experiences, and those experiences can inspire others. So that's the one strength that we think the Women Leadership Club in CEIBS is better, and we can get a lot of encouragement and inspirations from each other. And the other thing is we can leverage a lot of the strong alumni system in CEIBS. We have a lot of women leaders in CEIBS alumni, so we can invite them to share more stories when they make decisions during their lifetime.
Apart from what Sabrina just said, we think it's actually about the rising awareness of women and the rising power of women. Because on my way, just come here, I talked to a little sister, and she is still doing her bachelor's degree, and she is very interested in the women topic. And I told her that I'm coming here to record this radio, and she's very interested. And I think more and more girls are quite conscious of their power and their role in this society. And we are not, because we have like other male members on our club. And sometimes they might say in the beginning that is that feminist or something, and actually we're not that at all. We just want to create a community that is loving and supportive of each other. And we have many interesting activities like peer sharing, just Sabrina has mentioned. And actually, apart from that, we have a legacy forum that we will invite many distinguished guests into our forum, and there will be a lot of very insightful sharings from both industry side and from the personal side and from perspectives of their lives. So I think this forum can really help us be connected with all the women leaders in our society. And through this journey, I think we can explore ourselves, what's within us and what we can look for in the future as a women. And we believe that in the future, the rising power of women cannot be avoided. We can see many women rising from their work, from the industry, from their life. In CEIBS, we want to create this community that we can be prepared for ourselves. In this journey of self-exploration, we can know more about ourselves. Yeah.
Thank you.
And you had just mentioned we also have a lot of male members in the club. And very interesting fact about the executive team for Women Leadership Club this year is that we actually have Andrew as an executive. And could you elaborate more on what do you think the male members are gonna get from Women Leadership Club?
Yeah, very interesting. Andrew actually he's the first member on the team and in Women Leadership Club, and actually he's very popular. He thinks that he can understand more about women.
I just want to add on. Actually, this is the first year that we have a male member in the executive team of this Women Leadership Club. So I think that it's quite important because women can achieve a better position in the leadership place. We cannot achieve that without the help, without the support from the male members and male partners. So this is very important that we need to get some male members to provide some ideas from them. And also we try to add some topics in our later activities, like in the family, how boys can support girls, how they can support them to be a better self in the future.
And next, we would like to move on to Chaney to give us a brief introduction about Sports Media and Entertainment Club.
So for our club, Sports Media and Entertainment, initially we planned like 3 types of activities for our club members. The first is more like pop-up entertainment event, basically have fun with people. And the second is a peer sharing. If you are interested in some people's hobbies like extreme sports or like comedy, something like that, we plan to do some peer sharing. And for the third one, it's more like expert sharing. But so far, I think our activities are more like demand-based. Our club members request more of the pop-up entertainment events. But if we hear like more future demand from like other type of activities, we will like organize that. And I think for the difference between members and non-members, our club is really inclusive to all people from our batch because the purpose is really to have all of us together and have fun. And I think our members were like really supportive when we initially want to start this club. So that's also why our activities are really demand-based, because we really appreciate our family members, like our club members' support.
Speaking of events, what would be the most memorable event that you would like to share with our audience? Why don't we start with Zhiyin?
The most memorable event will be our next signature event, the Speed Casey. I can't tell you more because we haven't had it yet. I know that our background is so diversified. So what I did to personalize the case for our batch, meaning the prompt of the cases are super personalized. Every name appeared in the prompt. You will know them. Also, you will find that no industry background is required to solve the cases. So I think that may make people more open or easier to solve the problems. And as I mentioned before, that consulting is about the problem solving. When you face a problem, you have to divide it into small questions and give some suggestions to each of the questions, and finally to say what's your opinion regarding that question. But some people are afraid of case interview because they say they don't know the frameworks. But in the end, the frameworks help you to start thinking. If you don't have experience, you can use your common sense to solve the problem. So, yeah, I would say don't be afraid and just try to think in a more structured way.
So would that be also your advice to those who would like to make a career switch to consulting?
For those people who are interested in consulting and have never tried this kind of job before, I would say two suggestions. The first one is to figure out what's your real motivation, and the second one is to be very well prepared. So regarding the real motivation part, because I know that some people think that consulting is a very fancy job, it's very funny, but that's not true. For me, the three most common reasons that shouldn't be your motivation is money, the frameworks, and learn about the different industries. So about the money, like one of my previous workmates or colleagues, he did calculation of our salary, our hourly salary, based on the real number of hours we worked. So our salary of a junior consultant is kind of comparable to a normal people in a normal shop. So that's not so attractive if you include the over hours you worked and the effort you put in your job compared to the money part. And about the frameworks, I think there are more healthier options, like learn your different subjects online with the free online courses. They are more cheaper and healthier, so you don't have to be a consultant to learn frameworks. And about the learning about the different industries, it's a kind of, are you sure you can learn about one industry in a project of 2 months length? No, right?
No,
so
no.
For me, those three options cannot be your real motivation, and you should figure out what makes you really want to be a consultant. Mm-hmm. And the reason, my personal reason is, as I mentioned before, like consulting is a problem-solving process. You should think about some kind of, are you a challenging-oriented people? Do you like to face challenges? Do you like to solve problems? So that can be a real motivation for me, a valid motivation. And for the second part is to be very well prepared, because all of us, we know, consulting interviews have several rounds. In each round, you have to face personal fit problems, case interview, and behavior questions. To be very well prepared before your interview, to do a lot of practice or mock interviews with your friends, with your families. And And for the second part, after you get the offer and before you start your job, you have also you have to improve your hard skills. Like it's okay for fresh university graduates who doesn't know how to use Excel or PPT, but for us, we are MBA graduates. We have to have those kind of skills. And if you don't know how to do that, you can come to our club and join our events.
Yes, very helpful. And then let's move on to Women Leadership Club. What would be your signature event for the year?
I hope to introduce about an event that we will held with healthcare club. We plan to invite several healthcare investors. Those are all female, very successful investors, especially in healthcare sector. We planned this event because we think that firstly, a lot of our members truly very interested in both healthcare and also the investment, especially VC and PE kind of job. So they are hoping to listen to more about the investors, what they do in their daily life, and find some job opportunity. This is one of the vision of this kind of events. And another thing is that we are not only invite them to share some industry knowledge, we also invite them to share their thoughts and what they are planning when they make some like career transition. Because investment industry is actually very male-dominant industry, and there are little female investors who are very successful. So we will invite them to share what kind of difficulties they faced and what kind of balance between work and life they made when they aim to be a good investors. So that's the event that I plan to introduce.
Let me talk more about our Legacy Forum, which will be happening in June. And actually, our club, Andrew, Sabrina, and me are working really hard to put this event going because actually we are working together with GWC, which is Global Women Connect, this organization. And actually, they have many very distinguished forum speakers, and we can invite them to our forum. We will be inviting like 10 speakers, and our forum will last actually for 1 day. And the most successful one is actually happened in 2019. And later, because of the pandemic, this is actually the first year we will be switching back to offline. So we were really looking forward, and the school is very looking forward to this Legacy Forum as well.
Thank you, Mona. Chaney, could you share with us what would be your signature event for the Sports Media and Entertainment Club?
So recently we just had our first offline pop-up event, and I'm really glad we finally did it because we actually planned it like last December, and it just kept getting postponed because of like the school schedule or like the pandemic situation whatsoever. Finally, we successfully did that just this Friday, so 2 days ago. So I'm pretty happy about that. And also because it's like it was a live murder scene event, so it's like in Chinese 实景剧本杀, and it was like few of our members like they really want to do that, but they couldn't get like enough people. So I think through our platform, they could like organize and we can help them to recruit more players to together have the fun. And I think that's one of the most important purpose of our club is like to provide a platform and to really help people maybe who want to get to know some new types of entertainment activities but couldn't get like enough friends to play together, and we can help just unite some of them and to have fun. So for the future, we also look forward to having more like smaller scale and on-campus activities, and that could also be friendly to our non-Chinese speaker members. So we were thinking about maybe movie night or like board game night, but that's still ongoing.
I think there were a lot of obstacles in terms of activity planning, and I know that a lot of the clubs have had their difficulties, and fortunately, I think we will be looking forward to a lot more fun and interesting activities later on. And thank you so much for your sharing today. It was very interesting and very inspiring. Thank you.
We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into MBA life at CEIBS. If you have any questions or comments about this episode or the podcast in general, please feel free to reach out. Our email is in the podcast description. Stay tuned for our next episode.